Good morning, gentlefolk, and welcome to back to Dark Souls with me, your noble host, Screamingly Jolly, and of course the ever beautiful Manita Mildred. Last episode was not terribly interesting. We spoke to a bunch of toothless old crones who seem to be having a lot of fun at something. I have no idea. Like I said, growing old sounds like a lot of fun, judging by them. Today will be a little bit more interesting. We will talk endlessly to the Emerald Herald. This girl here?
You, the next monarch?
Yes.
Or merely a pawn of fate?
No.
Bearer of the curse, I will remain by your side till this frail hope shatters. Take this with you. May it ease your journey. Go on and see the king. He who made Dranglake what it once was. He who peered at the essence of the soul. King Vendrick.
I do like the NPCs in this game, but ooh, do they go on and on. He did give us arguably one of the most important items in the game. It quite simply allows us to heal and refills every time we rest at a bonfire, which makes it a permanent heal. One we don't have to ration. We can just spend it because it always comes back. And I should, yes, let's loot the town. Let's do what any good roleplay would do, and loot everything. That's the armor shop, we'll talk to him later. Like I said, one NPC every episode, to keep it remotely interesting. Steely, steely, steel. Titanite shards cannot be overestimated. Horribly useful to upgrade your weapons. Deep dark pit, we'll get in there. Mansion, we will sit inside of that as well. Here. Ta-da! It's a hanged guy. And a shard we will use to make the Estus flask more powerful. Pick up. Da-da-da. This area is frightfully pretty, and I do like the music. The Champion Stone, or whatever it's called. You can join a covenant there. Groups that you can join to get benefits or challenges, or, you know, just spice up the game a bit. That particular one means that you cannot cooperate with anyone, and everything becomes rock hard. It's hard mode, essentially. Kinda cool. Some interesting rewards from it. We will not be touching that one, though.
Bearer of the curse, seek misery. For misery will lead you to greater, stronger souls.
Misery.
You will never meet the king with a soul so frail and pallid.
Hey.
Seek those whose names are unutterable. The four endowed with immense souls. Their souls will serve as beacons.
Beacons.
Once you have found them, return here to me, so that hope will not fade away. Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it, so that I may help you to see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
Ta-da! She talks a lot and very slowly, which is annoying because she's the most useful character in the game. Quite simply. You can kill her. It makes the game a little bit more challenging. Let's just say that. She also levels you, so you'll be stuck at the starting level if you go around murdering her. Let's see here. Do I level now, or do I save the... I don't need that now. Yes. Do I go through all the dialogue? Why, hell not.
Over the hill and past the forest is the king's castle, where a man peered straight into the essence of the soul, but whatever came of it. Those who come to Dranglake seeking salvation soon lose hope and turn hollow. It happens to them all, sooner or later. That blue knight at the base of the tower, his spirit is already broken.
We'll talk to him later.
Although he does offer sound advice, perhaps he is a foreshadowing of your own future. That tiny thing inside the ruins, an ancient being that will mock your very existence.
She's cool.
She imparts sound wisdom, provided you find her on a good day. The sign you bear will drain your very souls, and without souls, you will turn hollow. Stay strong. Do not lose hope, even when you have precious little time.
Like I said, everyone's going undead all over the world. There's apparently some rumor that this land offers salvation, which is why people flock here. And then they fail and turn into the zombies we fight all over the shop.
For when the undead dies, it is never truly dead, but only one step closer to hollowing. Not all undead are hollows, but all hollows were once undead. If you find an Estus shard, bring it to me, so that I may ease your burden. Over the hill and past, but whatever.
There we go. It's been ages since I listened to everything she has to say. There's a lot of it. All of that, kind of confusing advice regarding the rest of the game. She points you to two NPCs in town who give advice on bosses and areas, and tells you about Estus shards and tell you where to go first. Problem is, she does so in such a confusing manner that at first I still didn't know exactly what to do. That gate just doesn't open. I don't think there's anything behind it at all. Or rather, I know there isn't. Just surprised. Just not entirely sure why they put it there. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I'm an impatient cannibal. I think Man-Eater Mildred is a cannibal, at least. For those of you who didn't play Dark Souls 1, I may have mentioned it earlier, but Man-Eater Mildred, who this character is named after, was an invading phantoms in a swamp at what is essentially a swamp at the bottom of the world. Can't quite remember the name of it. And she wields the same equipment as the butcher type enemies on the upper floors, which has led me to assume that she's one of the butchers. And for some reason I assume the butchers are cannibals. I'm not sure why I assume the butchers are cannibals. It's just, they had that vibe. You know, that cannibal vibe. Of course you know what I mean. Hollows! Oh, gloves for us. Did we equip gloves? I'm not sure. I mean, the original Man-Eater Mildred did run around in her undies. But does this character have to? I think not. I'll probably put on clothes later. Oh, come on. Almost. These are the very... No, I won't say the very easiest enemies in the game, because those were obviously the basically targeting dummy enemies in the tutorial area. But they're close to the easiest. But still a challenge if you're not... until you learn the combat. They can do a lot of damage if you're not careful. Which I'm not! Life games? I think I called it Soul Game last time. That was a mistake. I've been playing other games. I will not go into detail about which ones they are, but yes, there were other games. It's kind of a pretty forest. These first two areas are actually quite pretty. I will complain a bit about the graphics of certain areas. This is not one of them. Up inside a tree. Up out of a hole. This is the first area people usually have problems with. There are 3 fine gentlemen rushing you with various weapons. And they can easily take out an unprepared player. Oh yeah, and there's also an archer up there. You can rush the archers, but there's even more enemies, and the enemies that are already here will follow you up the stairs. So you can find yourself fighting a lot of people. And if you've never played Dark Souls before, you are not ready for that. Human effigies, wonderful. Ah, these fine gentlemen sitting there, moping, are actually enemies. They are highly optional and will do nothing until you attack them. They drop a rather useful sword if you're speccing into faith or holy magic. But we're not gonna bother with that. He can chill out. Maybe I should kill him. Killing is fun. Yes. What would Man-Eater Mildred do? She would murder the shit out of him. See if we can go down here. I have died here, actually, by falling. It's a very common thing to do. Gravity is your enemy. Jumping in this game is spectacularly bad. We'll put him on. No. No. Alright. Let's heal up. Let's use the life gems. The life gems are slower, so I'm saving the Estus flasks for the actual fight. Heal up, woman. Heal up. Nah, that's good enough. Let's do this. Alright. Let's do this. The jumping attack is tricky to pull off, even for a good player. I'll say I'm good. I am saying I'm mediocre. That's as far as I'm willing to go. That guy has some weird attacks. He really does. I mean, look at that. He's doing a little dance and just so happens to swing his sword about. I died sword! Da-da-da-da-da-da. I haven't got enough dexterity to actually use it. I mainly wanted to kill the guy. Let's be absolutely honest. Because murdering things is fun. Alright. In this room there are 2 enemies. Behind this corner is 1 enemy. Yes, you tried and you failed. What does that teach us? Never try. Throwing knife? Throwing knives are actually very useful in this game. Mostly so against other players. They're great for pulling off that last hit in PvP, of which there will be some. I'm going to join... I've got plans to join a PvP covenant later. I'm going to see if I can pull off stringing together a small set of separate videos, so you can see me doing a bunch of PvP without having to wait for battles, which would make for a very boring video, let's be honest. Don't throw 5 bombs in my face, you rotter! Well, I'm a bit wounded. That is quite unacceptable. Death, 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 death. Ah yes, I believe she mentioned a fort at the heart of the Forest of Last Giants. This is the fort, and this is where the first real part of the game takes place. In my humble opinion, I'm not even in the first part of the game yet. Still merely a end of the tutorial area, or possibly an introduction to the real game. Slicey slice! Da 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 da. It begins. The real quest, the mighty quest. Oh, that is a weird summoning sign. I can summon someone through that to help me out for a brief while. Will not do that though. Completely unnecessary. And that's Hag Melentia. She sells her stuff. We'll talk to her later. Running over here. She sells one of the most useful items in the game. Yes, there are a few of them, okay? She sells the key to the blacksmith shop. You will see a large, green, surly blacksmith sitting outside a smithy, complaining about being locked out. The key she sells, that's the one. She's a little thief, isn't she? Ah, Hollow Soldier gauntlets. I can't not use them. Yeah! Looking badass. Kind of. Well, not really. See if I can find some trousers too. Some Hollow Soldier trousers. If you go right here, you get a reward. A Divine Blessing. That's a healing item. Really good healing item. But they're very rare, so you practically never use them. I'm gonna buy the key off her. That's the thing I can do. Yes. For such a dark and dire game, people do seem to enjoy themselves a lot. Actually gonna buy the old club. I love clubs. Not going to do a lot of upgrading to begin with. I have some very specific plans for my upgrading. You get a limited amount of Titanite in the game. Well, the regular kinds of Titanite are essentially unlimited, but you have to spend... So you have to get a bit into the game, you have to spend souls on it, which I'd rather spend on levels, so I'm going to be very conservative. And...
Is that a shard you found?
Yes.
However,
And the weapon I'm actually planning on upgrading, I will not find for quite a bit. So I'm going to fight with unupgraded weapons, which will be a bit of a challenge. Well, it'll be a fun one. A funny challenge. I did buy the key, right?
Who are you? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just help me open this door. I packed my tools in here, seeing it was vacant. But now somebody's gone and locked the door.
Yeah, I should have checked if someone owned it. You bastard. You don't steal a house. You would steal a house. No, you wouldn't. Did I upgrade my flask? No, I didn't. I should probably do that. Yes. I mean, I would not have given a person you speak to this often so many lines of dialogue just to get into her options menu. But they did, and we're all suffering from it. Let's see here. I want to dodge better. I want better stamina. But let's start with the dodging. Adaptability, might as well go through the stat. Increases your resistances to numerous things. That is kind of... That doesn't affect you that much at all. But the agility, oh, that does. At certain intervals, 90, 95, 100, pretty much every 5, usually. It increases how many parts, how long of a period during this roll that you are actually invincible. In the beginning of the game you have to time it pretty much exactly right to actually roll through a blow. But as your agility increases, it becomes easier and easier until you're essentially invincible through the entire roll and can pretty much dodge things at your leisure. Sadly though, I think that was around 20 minutes, and I will join you next time, and so will Maneater Mildred. Yeah, she's looking forward to it. Cheers.